The marble floors of the grand hotel lobby shone like a mirror, reflecting the golden light of crystal chandeliers that hung from the ceiling like frozen fireworks. But amidst all this expensive beauty, the atmosphere was freezing cold. At the reception desk, the silence was shattered by a sharp, dismissive voice. A finger, manicured and pointed like a weapon, was directed straight at a man standing in the center of the room. He wore a faded brown leather jacket that had seen better decades. His jeans were stained with the dust of the road, and his boots left faint, muddy outlines on the pristine floor. To the receptionist, he wasn't a guest. He was a stain on the perfection of her workspace. "I will not repeat myself," the receptionist hissed, her voice dripping with disdain. "This is a five-star establishment, not a shelter. You are disturbing the aesthetic. Please leave before I call security to drag you out. Before we see how this moment changes 3 lives forever, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to Kindness Valley. Tell me in the comments where you are watching from. I love reading your stories." The man, whose name was David, didn't raise his voice. He didn't scream or fight back. He simply stood there, his hands resting on the cold black marble of the counter. His eyes were tired, carrying a weight that money couldn't buy. He looked at the receptionist, not with anger, but with a strange kind of disappointment. He wasn't asking for a room. He wasn't asking for money. He had simply asked for a glass of water and a moment to sit down after a long walk in the humid afternoon heat. But in a world obsessed with appearances, his request was treated like a crime. "I have money to pay for a drink," David said softly, reaching into his pocket. His hand trembled slightly, not from fear, but from exhaustion. "I just need to rest my legs for 5 minutes." The receptionist laughed, a cool, short sound that echoed off the high walls. She didn't even look at the cash she was pulling out. "We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone," she recited, crossing her arms over her chest. "And I am refusing you. Your money isn't worth the smell you're bringing into my lobby. Look at you. You don't belong here. Now, move." 20 seconds into this confrontation, the tension was thick enough to choke on. If you believe that kindness costs nothing but means everything, please hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to see it. Welcome to Kindness Valley. From the corner of the room, near the velvet curtains, a pair of eyes was watching. It was Elena, the hotel maid. She held a feather duster in one hand and a trash bag in the other. Her blue uniform was crisp, her white apron spotless, but her shoes were worn down from 12-hour shifts. Elena knew what it felt like to be looked through, to be treated as part of the furniture rather than a human being. She watched the man in the leather jacket, and she didn't see a beggar. She saw a father. She saw a brother. She saw a human being who was thirsty. Against every protocol, against the fear of losing the paycheck she desperately needed to feed her 2 children, Elena stepped forward. Her heart hammered against her ribs like a trapped bird. She walked past the guests who were pretending not to notice the scene, walked past the security guard who was already reaching for his radio, and stopped right next to David. "Excuse me, sir," Elena said, her voice shaking but clear. The receptionist's jaw dropped. She glared at Elena with eyes that promised punishment. "Elena, get back to work," the receptionist snapped. "Do not encourage him." Elena ignored her. She reached into the pocket of her apron and pulled out a small plastic water bottle. It was warm, and it was half full, her own water for the rest of her shift. She also pulled out a small, wrapped sandwich. "I'm sorry, sir. We don't have a table for you, but please, take this. It is hot outside. You must be dehydrated." David looked down at the small woman. He saw the calluses on her hands and the genuine worry in her eyes. He took the water bottle as if it were made of gold. "Thank you," he whispered, "but you will get in trouble." "Some things are more important than trouble," Elena replied softly. The receptionist slammed her hand on the desk. "That is it. Elena, you are fired. Pack your things and get out along with this trash. I told you 1,000 times. We maintain a standard here." The silence that followed was deafening. Elena lowered her head, tears stinging her eyes. She had lost her jaw for a bottle of water. She turned to leave, accepting her fate, but a heavy hand landed gently on her shoulder. It was David. He was no longer hunched over. He stood up straight, his posture shifting from weary to commanding. The tiredness vanished from his eyes, replaced by a sharp, steel-like intensity. He reached into his dirty leather jacket and didn't pull out loose change. He pulled out a sleek, black smartphone and dialed a number. "Bring the car around," David said into the phone, his voice booming through the silent lobby. "And tell the board of directors we are having an emergency meeting in 10 minutes. The receptionist froze. The color drained from her face faster than water down a drain. Who are you?" she stammered, her arrogance crumbling into fear. David didn't look at her. He looked at Elena. "My name is David Sterling. I bought this hotel chain 3 days ago. I wanted to see how my staff treats the people who have nothing, because that tells me how they will treat the people who have everything." 2 minutes later, a sleek black limousine pulled up to the glass doors. The general manager ran into the lobby, breathless, bowing his head toward the man in the dirty jacket. "Mr. Sterling, we didn't know you were. We weren't prepared." David finally turned to the receptionist. She was trembling, gripping the counter for support. "You were right about one thing," David said calmly. "You do maintain a standard here, but it is the wrong one. You judge me by my jacket, but you fail to see the human wearing it. You are relieved of your duties, effective immediately." He then turned to Elena, who was standing there, clutching her duster, terrified and confused. David smiled, and it was the warmest thing in that cold room. "Elena," he said gently, "you risked your livelihood to help a stranger who could offer you nothing in return. That is the kind of leadership this company is missing." I just gave you water, sir," she whispered. "No," David shook his head. "You gave me dignity. From today, you are no longer a maid. I am promoting you to head of guest relations. You will teach every employee in this building what true hospitality looks like. And that sandwich you gave me, I'm tripling your salary to pay you back for it." Elena burst into tears, covering her face with her hands. The trash she had saved had turned out to be her savior. The world is full of people who polish the outside but leave the inside to rot. We wear masks of status, suits of arrogance, and build walls of indifference. But true worth is never found in what you wear, what you drive, or where you sleep. True worth is found in how you treat those who can do absolutely nothing for you. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Kindness Valley for more untold stories. Remember, the hand that gives a rose always keeps some of the fragrance. Be kind, always,